That's it. That's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. Team Crawford exposes Terence Crawford, his intentions, if you will, in fighting against Canelo Alvarez. In this video, I will break down what I am referring to. Now, before I get into the interview, let me say this. If you guys know on my channel, I haven't been a big supporter of the Canelo Crawford fight. I'm old school. I don't like crazy weight class jumping when it doesn't make sense. Canelo Crawford weight jump to me doesn't make sense. And I've said that so many times on my channel, and I'm going to continue to say it on my channel because it's my channel and that's how I feel. Now, you as a fan, if you're compelled to feel otherwise, that's on you. But you're not convincing me when I know what I want. I'm a consumer. I'm telling you what I want. So for me, you guys are like, oh, this is two big names, and some people are excited about the fight. It doesn't excite me at all. I am a boxing journalist, media member, reporter, vlogger, whatever you want to call me. I'll cover it because this is what I do, and this is what I get paid for. It's my full-time income. So I'll cover it like I cover anything, but my personal opinion, I don't really fancy the fight. Solely based on Crawford just moved to 54, hasn't cleaned house, one fight at 54. Canelo has 2 fights at 75 and 168. He's undisputed or was undisputed and has several fights. Is no acclimation, no rehydration clause, no catch weight. It just sounds dumb to me. But again, by all means, you guys feel how you want to feel. However, Fight Hype has a brand new interview with Steve Nelson, who's getting ready to fight Diego Pacheco at the division, 168. And he kind of told on Crawford, if you will. And I'll put the link in the description so you guys can hear for yourself in its entirety. But to me, he inadvertently, he didn't intentionally, he was like saying, yeah, Crawford, he's going to beat Canelo, blah, blah, blah. But to me, if you listen, he kind of told on Crawford. And I want you guys to listen.
People don't realize Canelo was a smaller guy that went up to just happened to go to the 168. You know what I mean? So for Bud to go up there and fight a true 168, like, it'd be stupid. Like, he didn't accomplish everything. You know, Bud is looking at legacy now and, you know, and money. Like, ain't no need for him to go out there and fight a Benavidez or, you know, one of the true 168s. So he go up there and go for the big dog, you know.
Wow.
Because he the big dog in his weight class.
So let's unpack what just went on. Steve Nelson just said, and I'm paraphrasing because you guys heard it, link will be in the description. He just told you out his own mouth. He's like, fans are saying that Crawford should fight David Benavidez or a true 168 pounder. Doesn't make sense. Bud is after legacy, and then he said, and money. So this proves why I don't want to see this particular fight like some of y'all. He just told you. So this is what I call an advanced cherry pick. Now, I know some people, you're going to start crying. The reason I say advanced, now, it's not an advanced, it's not a cherry pick in the normal sense of like, you know, because this would be an accomplishment if Bud can defeat somebody at a higher weight class without acclimating, right? So it's not the traditional cherry pick, but it is still an advance, or this is what I'm calling it, an advanced cherry pick, because his own teammate and friend, Steve Nelson, is telling you there's no reason for Bud to fight a true 168 pounder. He started off by saying Canelo Alvarez started off smaller, like a welterweight earlier in his career at 54, and then made his way up to 68. So that lets me know the mentality from Team Crawford is Canelo, we know he has shown signs of slippage and being a little bit older in his recent fights. Can't put away Munguia, and some other guy did, Surase. Can't put away Berlanga. Couldn't put away John Ryder. And they just told you he started in a lighter weight class and moved up. Crawford, height-wise, might even be taller than Canelo Alvarez. So this is just more proof for why I particularly don't want to see. He just told you he's after legacy, but then he said money. So this looks like a payday. Bud wants to ride off in the sunset. He thinks I can beat this guy despite the weight. And for me, if he got cooked by Canelo, he would probably just retire knowing he made all the money that he made with the Canelo fight, right? That doesn't really excite me because if you look in boxing, if there's so many parameters where various things need to occur or exist, like I hate the whole dare to be great. Like dare to be great. You lacing up the gloves in general, you could be a journeyman. You're lacing up the gloves, so you're daring to be great. You're risking your life. So everybody who boxes is daring to be great. So I don't believe in that whole like philosophy. Oh, Bud, he's just taking a risk. Like if I run across 4 lanes of freeway traffic on the interstate in flip-flops in a robe, does that make me like a risk taker? And am I daring to be great? Or am I doing something that's very foolish, that trying to run and dart through freeway traffic is insanely dangerous and is not advisable? So even if I made it across safely, it's still a dumb move. Do you guys get the analogy? Like that's not me daring to be great by doing something that is like remedial, like running across the freeway in flip-flops. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it the same way. But the fact that his team just came out and said that there's no reason to fight a true 168 pounder tells me everything that I need to know. They view Canelo as probably slipping, aging. He's the shortest out of like, you know, the names, and Bud's looking for legacy and money, and they like that matchup. Canelo has slow feet. Bud is athletic. He's a fast thinker and stuff like that. So that's what it sounds like. They want to shoot for the stars and, you know, shoot for the moon and like land on the stars, which proves to me everything I've been saying, because a real great fight in boxing is David Benavidez, David Morrell. You know why? They both have one fight at 175. So it's not like Benavidez has been at 175 and then Morrell's coming up from junior middleweight and got to meet him. They both spent most of their career at 68, and they both got one fight apiece, Hot Rod and Alexander Volchstik for David Benavidez. One fight apiece at 175. Now they're both fighting at light heavyweight. Boom. Amazing fight. Stylistically, amazing fight. You got a Cuban puncher who's aggressive. You got David Benavidez, a volume puncher who's big. They're both about the same height. Amazing fight. Notice when I say Morrell Benavidez, I don't have to do anything special. Morrell's not daring to be great any more than Benavidez. Benavidez is taking an inherent risk, and Morrell with fewer fights is taking a risk. Boom. But then these other like freakish fights, like let's say Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, you got to hope Mike Tyson can wind back the clock against someone 30 years younger than him. For Crawford Canelo, you got to hope that Crawford can take a punch from a bigger man, or you got to hope, because we haven't seen Crawford at 168. So you got to hope if he doesn't hurt or take full control of the fight in the first half of the fight, that punching a bigger man, he don't gas out. So it's not even about Crawford can't do good. Crawford can't have his moments. It's just, to me, it's just too freakish of a fight, and I'm old school. And when I say these things, people be like, oh, you hate Bud and all that. I mean, you guys could believe whatever you want. The difference between me and other content creators is I make sense. I always explain to you and show receipts and explain my stance. You don't have to agree with me. If you love the fight, cool, go that way. I don't. And it's not going to change. And the fact that his own teammate just said what he said about why should Bud fight a true 168 pounder like a David Benavidez speaks volumes to me. So they know that this is a weird, like, bridge too far, but they know the money's worth it. And Canelo stylistically, they feel they match well with him, but they're not. I told you, that's why Crawford's not willing to fight Benavidez. He's not willing to fight Morrell when they were at there. Not willing to fight Caleb Plant or Andrade to show you that he's truly ready. He just wants to, boop, I'm the big dog in lower divisions and I got enough names, so he's hoping for the backing. So I don't really prefer fights like that because a true great fight is like anybody who cooks. If you have a nice cut of steak, it's marbled, it's a great cut, it's Wagyu, whatever. You don't have to over season anything like that. If you're a meat eater, pause. You don't have to like put on a million different smoked paprika and this and that and season all and this and sprinkles. You don't really have to do that. A good cut of steak with some salt and pepper will be delicious. You know what I mean? And to me, in its truest form, in the square circle, that's boxing. You don't have to ad lib. You don't have to over season it. If it's really a good fight, it doesn't have to be this whole daring to be great. Like, oh, Conor McGregor, coming over and fighting Logan Paul. Like, it's just weird. Maybe profitable, but to me, I'm never going to fancy those fights over anything else. And I feel like Crawford's move, his team just kind of exposed. They didn't know he's not a true 68-pounder. Another thing is that I've said from the beginning is Crawford initially asked for the Canelo fight at a catchweight. Canelo shot it down. So you would have if you thought you were truly a 68-pounder, you would have never asked for the catchweight to begin with. But the fact that you did lets me know that you truly know you don't belong there, which is like, why should you fight the guy with mostly all the belts in the name if we know you don't really belong at 168 and you're not willing to fight any top level guys to show your worth? You just want to once and done it with Canelo. That's why I'm not really for this fight. I mean, again, you guys, some people are like, Crawford's going to knock him out. I mean, good luck with that. Show me, make the fight if you want. The thing is, I don't get in the way of the fights. I'm not making phone calls and saying, please don't make the Bud fight. Bud shouldn't get Crawford. I'm just telling you my opinion of why I don't prefer it. And to me, it's just a basic fight. I'm not excited. And I don't know if that'll change, but I don't like the premise. I didn't like Kell Brook fighting Triple G at middleweight. I don't like Amir Khan fighting at 155 against Canelo. Like, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think.